All right, let's get rolling. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for hopping on for this month's Industry 30. I'm pleased to introduce our speaker today, Dean Gagliano from Milwaukee Tool, who is a product manager for their One-Key solution. Dean's going to be hitting on Milwaukee's One-Key solution and the future of connected job site technology. The webinar is being recorded and will be placed on the chapter's website. So if you would like to refer to it after the webinar, you can access it through the chapter's website. You all do have the ability to unmute yourself, but please hold your questions to the end of the presentation and Dean will get to you then. You're also welcome to use the chat feature. With that being said, I'll turn it over to Dean. Take it away.
Hey, everybody. Nice to meet you. Dean Gagliano here, Group Manager of Customer Success for Milwaukee Tool. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the slide deck just to give you a really high-level overview of what One-Key is. Hopefully, that'll spark some ideas and some questions for you guys. So that way we can do a little bit of Q&A as well. And then if you ever wanted to do a full deep dive, we can also schedule some one-offs and we can do a full deep dive of the software and the functionality in it as well. All right, so starting with One-Key, we see ourselves through the lens of these four key pillars. Pillar one is going to be our connected tools and our connected tool experience. Pillar two will be tracking from a software and hardware standpoint. Pillar three will be our inventory management software. And then pillar four will be push and pull of data, as well as strategic partnerships we already have in place with other software providers. So starting with pillar one, our connected tool experience. We have over 130 tools on the market right now that have One-Key already built into the tool itself. I think it's actually 137, and we'll have upwards of 160 by the end of 2026. So there is a real commitment from Milwaukee Tool to get One-Key into more and more of the tools that we manufacture. But you're going to get some added benefits with a One-Key tool versus a non-One-Key tool. Benefit number one is going to be the security side of things. We have the hard tracking hardware already hardwired into these tools, so you don't need to add anything extra to these tools to help track them. That's already hardwired out of the box. Essentially, it is a part of our crowdsourced Bluetooth-based tracking network. And the other cool thing about that is if one of these tools grows legs and walks away, you can actually remotely lock out these tools. Essentially, what you would do is you would notice that the tool is gone. You'd go into the software and mark the status as either missing or stolen. That'll create a flag in the software to remotely lock out that tool the next time it's seen by somebody with the One-Key app on their phone. On top of the security side of things, we also have some safety features in our One-Key tools. So for instance, the drill that you see on this slide, we have a feature in there called anti-kickback. The tool can actually sense if it's starting to bind up. And even if your finger's still on the trigger, it will stop that tool altogether. And then our One-Key specific sawzalls, we have a feature on there called cut break. The tool can actually sense once a cut is complete. And even if your finger's still on the trigger, it will stop that tool altogether. And then in general, creating a safer, more productive work environment, you can customize all the controls and settings on all One-Key tools as well. For instance, we'll pick on this drill again. When you connect to this drill, you're going to get a dashboard to be able to customize the output for this drill. So you can customize the trigger ramp up speed, you can customize the RPM output, you can even dial in what bit or fastener you're using and what application you're using the tool for. This is going to give you that output from the tool to do that task you're asking it to do consistently and repeatably over and over and over again. So this is great if you do a lot of prefab work or repeated work, or great if you have young upcoming apprentices that may not necessarily understand the task you're asking them to do or how to utilize the tool to complete that task. Any questions here about our connected tools or connected tool experience? Okay, we'll continue to move on then. So next is going to be our tracking component. We are a crowdsourced Bluetooth-based tracking network. We work the exact same way as the Apple AirTags or Tile, if anyone's familiar. Hilti also has a software solution. DeWalt also has a software solution. And Bosch was working on one. I don't know if they ever got it off the ground running. But essentially, we all work the same. The way it works is our tools emit a signal about every 5 to 8 seconds. Our standalone trackers emit a signal about every 3 seconds. But essentially, all it's doing is saying, hey, I'm a Sawzall, here I am, every 5 to 8 seconds. Now, everybody and anybody with the One-Key app on their phone will be able to pick up that signal. So it doesn't have to be just you or somebody from your crew or your company. It could be a different trade on the same job site as you that also happens to be using One-Key. It could be a stranger driving in the opposite direction on the road as you that also happens to be using One-Key. Just as long as they're within range of the tool to pick up its signal, they'll be able to pick up the tool's signal. That information then gets paired up with the GPS coordinates on the phone that picked up the signal from the tool. That information then gets sent to the cloud, and we send that to you and only you, being the owner of the tool, in the form of a location update, which would be a date, a time, and an address of where this tool was last seen. I know the question that I usually get here is, well, what's the range? Range is kind of a double-edged sword with the way crowdsourced Bluetooth-based tracking works. You want the range to be far enough so that way you have an opportunity for more people with the One-Key app to come within contact of the tool to pick up its signal. But you don't want the range to be too far because the actual location you're receiving is from the phone itself, not from the tool. So with that said, the range on the tools are about 100 feet line of sight. The range on the standalone Bluetooth tracker is about 300 feet line of sight. So like I said before, we all kind of work the exact same way as far as our industry competitors are concerned. So what's the differentiator here for us? We've been doing this since the end of 2015, top of 2016. So we were first to market with the crowdsourced Bluetooth-based tracking. We had a leg up on the competition in building our tracking network. And we've done this in two separate ways. One, the more organic approach, getting more customers in the software. Obviously, the more customers using the tracking, the stronger the system is going to work for you since it is crowdsourced. The other way we've done this is through strategic partnerships. So back in 2020, we partnered with a consumer electronics company called Chipolo. They don't have anything to do with our industry, but essentially, they had a tracking network similar in size to ours. So we partnered with them specific for the tracking network. So now not only anyone that has the One-Key app on their phone will be able to pick up the signals from your tools, anybody that has the Chipolo app on their phone will also be able to pick up those signals and give you a location update. And then from an industry specific standpoint, we have a partnership with Equipment Share. So I don't know if anybody here on the call uses Equipment Share for equipment rentals, but their beacons can actually pick up the signal from our tools as well and give you a location update too. With all this said, we average about 5.5 million location updates a day for all the tools and trackers we have out on the market. And that equates to about 160,000 to 165,000 active users a month that's actively using the software on a day-to-day basis. Any questions here about our tracking, how it works, some of the functionality in it, how it could work for you? No? Okay. All right. So we'll move over to the hardware side of things. We already talked about our connected tools and our connected tool experience. These are going to be our standalone Bluetooth trackers. This is something that you could put on any other piece of equipment that you want to be associated with our crowdsourced Bluetooth-based tracking network. So you can put it on generators, ladders, welders, air compressors, literally anything else you want to put it on that isn't a One-Key specific tool, just because you don't need the redundancy. It is IP68 rated, so it's meant to withstand the elements. To give you context and size, it's about the size of a Gatorade bottle cap. It has the wings on either side with the holes in it. That's so you can screw it on whatever you want to put it on, rivet it on, or if it's something like a ladder that you can't drill a hole into, you can use a JB Weld two-part epoxy. A lot of people use the plastic weld JB Weld two-part epoxy, and that tends to work really well with adhering these trackers on other tools. There is a 3032 coin cell battery embedded in it. That's going to be its power source. That 3032 coin cell is non-replaceable and non-rechargeable, but it is guaranteed to run for 3 years. So after that 3 years is up, you would just replace the tracker as a whole. It's also the only tracker designed for the construction space that has a speaker built into it. So if you know that you're somewhere by your tool, but you can't see your tool, you can turn on the speaker and hopefully be able to hear exactly where that tool is located. Next over here, these are going to be our asset ID tags. So these are our standalone self-adhesive stickers. We don't have any smart technology built into these, but the cool thing about these is we don't sell additional hardware to scan them. We actually just have you scan them through the app and through the camera on your phone, which is what you see right here. Cool thing about that, one less piece of hardware you need to keep track of. And two, every single time you make a barcode scan, just like receiving a Bluetooth signal from one of our tools, we're going to pair that barcode scan up with the GPS coordinates on the phone that made that barcode scan. And we're going to give you a location update every single time a barcode has been scanned as well. So this is great if you already have a check-in, check-out process in place. It's also great if you want to run inventory audits on maybe your shop or any job sites or any service vehicles you might have. You can run quick inventory audits to see what is around you and what's there. And the app will kick out a report to let you know what it found, what it didn't find, or what it found but isn't actually assigned to that specific place you're running the audit for. Any additional questions here about our tracking? Okay. Next is going to be our inventory management software. It is a cloud-based solution. We have a web version of the app as well as a mobile version of the app. They both serve very distinct purposes, and we'll get into that in another slide. But they both talk in near real time with one another. So whatever you do on web, you'll be able to see in mobile. Whatever you do in mobile, you'll be able to see in web. The software is 100% free to use. There is no charge whatsoever for it. You just need an email address and a password to sign up and get started. From there, if this is something that you want to do, and maybe you're using another software solution like a tool watch, if you can export your data from your other software solution into a CSV file or an Excel file, we do have a bulk upload feature into ours. So you can quickly bulk upload all of your data into our system to get off the ground running rather quickly. It is meant to be a full data repository. So you can put everything in here. You can put all of your assets in here. It doesn't have to be just Milwaukee or One-Key tools. You can put many manufacturers or all manufacturers in here. You can store and save all their service records. You can set different service reminders based upon the tool service schedule. You can store and save all purchase information. If unfortunately you do need to file an insurance claim or a police report or a warranty claim, at least now you have a central location where all of this stuff is stored and saved. You can also store and save any other data or any other key information you have in here. You can add different job sites in here. So you can add job sites, you can add tool cribs, you can also add service vehicles in here. You can add all of your crew members in here. And then we also have a feature in here called multi-user, where you can set up different permission levels for your crew members. So if you have certain crew members where you only want them to see what's on their truck, you can do that. You can set that up so they don't have access to see all of your inventory. They only have access to see what's on their truck. If you want them to have access to see everything, you can do that as well. There's a lot of different customized modes that you have with this feature in particular, and also with One-Key as a whole. There's a lot of accountability within One-Key as well. You can assign tools to different job sites. You can assign tools to different crew members, and you can also assign tools to different divisions within your company. So that way you can hold them all accountable for the assets that you've given them. So there's a lot of flexibility within One-Key and a lot of accountability built within One-Key. It's quite a powerful system, especially for being 100% free to use. Again, if you want to do a full demo at some point of this software, by all means, don't hesitate to reach out to me or your local rep, and we can get something set up for you where we can do a one-off full demo of the software, and we can start to kind of pair some of your real-world workflows with some digital workflows within One-Key as well, so you can see how that works. Next, we do have an integration team on One-Key, and our integration team sees themselves through the lens of these three pillars. So pillar one, the broad connected ecosystem. We know and we understand that you're probably using multiple software solutions for different aspects of your business, and we don't want to be just another one that lives on its own island. We want to be able to communicate with those other software solutions, one, to help eliminate that dual data entry and the time consumption that it takes with that dual data entry, and then also eliminate the errors that go along with that. So with that said, we do have partnerships already with Procore and Autodesk BIM 360, where you can actually push and pull data between those software solutions. So if you already have partnerships, or if you already have accounts open with those solutions, we'll be able to tie that into your One-Key account so we can push and pull some data between those different software solutions. Next, our enhanced product solutions. So we have a few tools on the market right now: our crimpers, our cutters, our press tool, our digital torque wrench, and our torque sense impact guns, that you can actually pull usage data from those tools and then build reports in One-Key based upon the usage data from those tools. What we want to do is we want to be able to expand this out in the future. We want to know what kind of data you can pull from all one-key tools, how accurate that data is, and then how we can give that data back to you in an actionable manner. So that way, tool X has been sitting on the job site for 6 months, tool Y has been sitting on the job site for 3 months. Tool X is never used though. There's no trigger pulls on it at all. Tool Y is used constantly, even though it's a newer tool. So that way you just have some data to be able to create decisions. That's what we're working on right now to see if we can pull that data, how accurate that data is, and how we can give that data back to you. And then pillar three are innovative technology partnerships. This goes hand in hand with pillar one, but it's less about talking or partnering with a third party software solution and more about partnering with you direct. If you're a Milwaukee Tool customer, you know already that we do a great job on the tool side of things and building that relationship on the tool side of things. This is us admitting that we haven't done a great job on building that relationship on the software side of things. So this is our entryway of wanting to begin to build that relationship. We want to be able to have a better understanding of what other software solutions you're using. So that way, maybe we can use our API to tie into those software solutions to help you push and pull data back and forth between that software ecosystem that you already have created. Last slide here. So like I said, we do have a web version of the app as well as a mobile version of the app. The web version is more the 30,000 foot view. The mobile version of the app is more the in the trenches view, very specific, task oriented, get in, do what you have to do in the app, and then get out. So with that said, in Office, you're almost exclusively going to use the web version of the app. So that way you can see all of your tools, all your places, so your job sites, tool cribs, service vehicles, and then all of your crew members and how they're all working and engaging together with one another. In the shop, you're going to use a combination of both, depending on what task you're trying to accomplish. And then on the mobile app, you're almost exclusively going to use that on the job site or in the vehicle. So that way you can hurry up and run your inventory audit or make a transfer or scan the barcodes and then get back off your phone. So it's very quick, do what you got to do, and then get off. That's more or less what I have for you guys today as far as this deck is concerned. I do want to open this up to some Q&A if you guys have any specific questions or key questions. And if there's anything in the software that you want to see right now to kind of prompt more conversations, I'm more than happy to open up the software as well.
All right, thank you, Dean. Everyone does have the ability to unmute themselves if there's a question. One thing I wanted to do is give a shout out to our local rep here, Nick McConnell, who is also on the call, and then his manager, Simone DeCiantis, who is also on today's call. I will be sharing Nick's contact information, so if you do need to reach out to your local rep, Nick would be the person for that. And I'll share Dean's contact information as well for any questions about One-Key. So are there any questions by the group? Hearing none, I just want to thank Dean again for his presentation. This will be recorded and you all can access it on the chapter's website. With that being said, I'll give everybody a few minutes back there this morning, and I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks so much again, Dean.
Thank you. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks, everyone.